r/confession, episode 5. When I was 14, I put a brick on the acceleration pedal in my parents' car and it fell into a lake. This happened when we lived behind a lake. I was annoyed with my parents because they were taking us on a surprise trip. So I grabbed a brick from our yard and slammed it onto the pedal and changed the gear into neutral. The car rolled all the way down our driveway and into the lake with a splash. My parents arrived in time to see the roof slowly submerging in the water. I scammed little kids for food by giving them dirt. This sounds really stupid, so let me explain. Back in elementary school I used to be a fat vacuum. I will always be hungry, but my mom didn't pack me more food, so one day I decided to try to trade for food. So I went to some first graders and offered them my old Pokemon card for some M&Ms. They refused. So I was begging them for some, but they would not budge, so I gave up. I went to the court area and I noticed some dirt that was colored with paint and I thought it was cool, so I grabbed a handful to show my friends, but as I was walking back, the kids I tried to trade with noticed it and asked where I got it. I joked and said it was magical, and they said they will trade for the dirt, so he gave me like 5 meters and mows for some dirt. The next day he asked me if he can have more and he offered me his capricin if I gave him dirt, so for 3 months I scammed the kids out of food. To this day I sometimes chuckle remembering how stupid they were. TLDR, I scammed kids by giving them dirt in exchange for food. Edit, spelling. In 3rd grade, one was caught stealing my table mate's textbook. This story sounds so trivial, but it's made such a lasting impact on me that I had to share. It's not so much of a guilty confession as it is a shameful memory for me. Also, to clarify, since my teacher referred to my actions as stealing even though that wasn't my intention, I decided to caption the post with this. I'm not particularly bothered by her choice of words though. So basically, in 3rd grade, one tried to switch my math textbook with my partner's math textbook because it was in better condition than mine. I tried to do it sneakily during break time by erasing his name off the front page and writing my own, but I must have not had enough time because I didn't do the same for my own textbook, and somehow I ended up with 2 math textbooks in my desk. For some reason I totally forgot about my plan to switch the books until the next day when my partner couldn't find his textbook and went to the teacher. The teacher asked me if I had anything to do with his textbook missing, and of course I denied. This is probably a lapse in my recollection, but I left my actual textbook someplace else, so only his textbook, with my name in the cover, was in my desk. Our teacher then checked the cover and noticed some erasing marks, but couldn't tell if my partner's name was erased. Anyway, this is quite an elaborate explanation for a rather simple story, but eventually the teacher found my actual textbook and reprimanded me for lying and stealing. I bawled my eyes out when I got caught, since 3rd grade me was a goody two-shoes. I had to fill out this behavior journal as punishment and sit out during recess. The slip was just me writing down what I did wrong and such, but the important part was that I needed a parent's signature, so for a few days I dreaded giving my parents the slip to sign, but eventually on a day we were late, I had my mom sign the slip just before I rushed into the bus. She absent-mindedly signed it thinking it was a test or something else. I should be more ashamed of this part, but I mainly remember having to look my partner in the eye to apologize for lying and stealing as tears streamed down my face. Side note, I avoided that partner and my teacher for the rest of the year, haha. I swear she had some sort of vendetta against me after this. Must have thought I was a deceptive lying brat. Anyways, even though this happened ages ago and I now understand how stupid this incident was, I just wanted to share this and get it off my chest. This moment has stuck with me for the longest time because it's the first time I'd ever felt truly ashamed of my actions. But I've learned much from this experience. Now I know how to properly lie and follow through with my plans. I'm kidding. I used to steal recklessly every time I went out and never got caught. Before I write this, I'm just gonna say that I have stopped stealing and I have no intent on ever stealing again. So I don't remember exactly when I started this stealing stage, but it lasted for a few years and I think I was maybe 13 and very naive. Whenever I went out to a Walmart or Five Below, which were my favorite places to steal from, I would walk in with an empty or light plastic shopping bag and 30 minutes later I would be making my way out the door with a full bag. I would literally just walk down the aisles and just drop things in my bag. Nothing I needed OFC, just stupid things. My friends who were with me would always be scared we were definitely gonna get caught, but no employee ever said a word to me. The most I ever stole was like $400 to $500 worth of high-end makeup from Sephora in a mall. My mom lied to me and told me that they got our license plate number and that we needed to pay for all of the money and I was banned from the mall. I ended up finding out she just knew what I had done and wanted to scare the shush out of me. But it worked, because after that the stealing got less and less frequent and now I don't steal at all. I don't know why I felt the need to impulsively steal wherever I went, but I'm glad it stopped, even though I never faced any real consequences. I kinda stole some money from my mom that was supposed to be a gift. Sorry Mom, my family and I were going to my cousin's first birthday. It was a long trip that we had to take a train. My busy mom obviously forgot to bring a present, so she wrote a birthday card and inserted €100 bill in it on the train. Before we went to the venue, we went on a quick sightseeing first. It was cold, so I lent my jacket to my mom and then gave it to me back when we arrived at the bus station. When we arrived at the venue, everybody started to get ready. Then, my mom told us that she couldn't find her gift. She rethink it through and said that she probably left it in the train. The fact that we were already late and the party has already started made my mom to quickly make another birthday card and inserted €50 bill instead. Fast forward to 2 weeks after that. I was going through my jacket and then I found a card. I stupidly decided not to return it to her. I went shopping because it was sale season and went to all-you-can-eat sushi 3 times. I know it's wrong and bad, but now that I'm working, I'm helping her to pay the rent and give her some allowance. I bumped into someone's car while parking and I did not leave info. I've been driving for 3 months. It has been fine for the last month or so. No incidents. I feel more confident on the road. Today is the first time I bumped into someone's car coming home from work. They are a neighbor from across the street. I've never seen them or met them. There was a truck parked almost perpendicular to the neighbor's car. They are doing construction for another house. When parked, I have to be parallel with the neighbor's car across from theirs. So I have to drive up to a 45-degree angle next to their car and then I reverse back so my view is to the driveway, which is in between our parking area. To be clear, the driveway is barely driveway. It's super tiny, because of the truck being there. It was a tight squeeze. I was going to just pull into my parking area without my car facing the front. But I stupidly thought I could do it. I thought I checked before reversing, but I didn't check enough because as I reversed, my bumper scraped against their car's rear. I guess my spatial awareness hasn't improved enough. I feel very badly and of course I panicked. I audibly cursed in my car in horror. My only consolation is that it looks like their rear end has been scratched and chipped before the scrape. To give you an idea, both edges of their rear have all completely been chipped away already and there were pre-existing scratches from what I could tell. But I wasn't too comfortable going in closely to look at what I have done. There was jackhammering going on so no one could hear anything or hopefully saw anything. I'm crossing my fingers that they don't notice anything's wrong with their car. My bumper has scratches from the scrape. I went out and wiped it with my hands and then the sleeves of my shirt. I pretended like I was just polishing my car so that the other people constructing outside weren't suspicious. There's still scratches, but it's better. I can buy something to remove the scratches. I decided not to say anything to the neighbor. I have an anxiety disorder and I am an overthinker, so I've been consumed by this since it happened an hour ago. I'm hoping that I can get away with it just this time. I feel awful and I'm hoping nothing comes out of this. I'm lying to my dad about my grades and I can barely look him in the eye. I'm about to go into my senior year of college. I have always struggled with school and honestly I have no idea how I made it this far. I have ADHD, depression and anxiety. I barely made it out of high school and was accepted into a local college 45 minutes from my hometown. My grades haven't been the best. I do really love it. I have been working with my therapist to help manage my issues and do better in school, and it has finally paid off. During the spring 2020 semester I was a powerhouse. I was in the library every day. I was getting A's and B's in all my classes and I thought the tides were turning. And then the world fell out of balance. I had to move home where I continued to rock out the semester. I was doing way better than I thought. I finished with 3 A's, 3 B's and sadly an F. I shouldn't have let my advisor put me in that class. I was doing so good I decided to try out summer courses again. I'm stuck at home, so why not? I signed up for 4 classes and I was doing good in the beginning. About 3 weeks in I started to fall behind in one class. I can always retake it. But then the first test for the second class happened and I didn't even fully finish it. I studied to days, did the notes and everything, and I didn't even finish the test. The same thing happened with the next test and I just took the final today and I didn't even get halfway through it. I fell behind in my other 2 classes. I relapsed on my meds and I just continued to forget to take them. Everything just kind of came to a standstill. I fell behind in all 4 of my classes. And I am positive failed all 4 of them. I know for sure 2 of them I did not pass at all. But I kept the passing facade up for my dad. I never want to disappoint him. He's the best dad I could ever ask for. My parents weren't helicopter parents and they worked to help me with my issues in learning. They never really stuck. He even put himself on the hook for student loans so that I was able to move out and be closer to campus. I just can't tell him that I'm failing. I had a breakdown today during my last final because I barely finished half of it after studying for multiple hours every day. He had been telling me to email the teacher and find out if I failed or not and ask if there is anything I can do to bring up my grade. However, in my mental state I didn't turn in the last assignment. I was just so tired of failing and I just wanted to be done, so I didn't finish and turn it in. So I know that I failed. But I can't tell my dad that. I don't want him to be disappointed in me. He already has to deal with his own issues and I don't want to bother him because I just wasted an entire semester's worth of money and have to retake all of the classes again. I feel like a liar and a disappointment and I'm so tired of failing. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more Reddit content.